Welcome to week 3 of our personal finance mini-series. My name's Adam. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be covering off paying off your debts, how to do that, why it makes so much sense, and just walk through kind of good debt versus bad debt, how to calculate how much your debt is actually costing you, because I think so many of us just put debt on our credit cards, car loans, whatever it is, and don't really think about the long-term cost of doing so. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button, notification button. We release at least 2 videos every single week on financial planning, retirement planning, estate planning, tax planning, helping you build more wealth, put more money back in your pocket, pay less tax, and just retire in a better situation. So make sure to join our community to get notifications on every video we post out. Again, at least twice a week, where you're posting brand new video content. So again, in today's video, we're going to talk about paying off debt. So as you know, it's so easy to get credit in our world nowadays. You can walk down the street and you can see, signs saying, guaranteed approval. There's radio ads right now playing in my local city of Vancouver saying, buy a $10,000 car and we'll give you at least $30,000 more in credit to pay off the high interest credit card. So getting money is so easy nowadays, but the true cost of getting that money is exponential, and it's really killing most of our retirement plans. So we don't realize that, taking on an extra $20,000 or $30,000 car loan, how much that is truly costing us. And I think we need to calculate that and figure out how to pay that off or not even take on that debt in the first place. So we've done a few videos in the past around debt and good debt versus bad debt, which we'll link below. I'll actually link it above right now. You can click on there. We did a great video on good debt versus bad debt, what the difference is, how to, analyze that and figure out okay, is this loan or debt or whatever it is this really helping me or is it hurting me? Because a lot of times we fall into a trap where we might think a car loan that gets me to work to earn me money is actually good debt because I need a car to get to work. But the reality is that that's bad debt. But so many of us tried to justify it and put it into the category of good debt. So make sure to watch that video. We've also done a few videos on credit score and credit risk. So make sure to watch those. We'll link those below as well. But having a good credit score is really going to help you get a better rate, better terms on any credit that you need. So it's not just your mortgage, but if you do have to take other types of credit or even increase your credit limit on a credit card for a short-term need, having a really good credit score is going to help you get a much lower loan and just have a better credit terms on any debt that you have out there. So again, in this video, we want to look at paying off debts and how we do that efficiently. So I like to focus on whatever you're paying the highest interest rate. So don't look at maybe the dollar value or the balance owing on the credit card or whatever type of debt it is. Look at the interest rate and start hammering away at the highest interest rate. So it's probably going to be a credit card. So you probably have a credit card you're paying 20% interest on. That needs to be focus one. So list all of your debts onto a table, on Excel spreadsheet, whatever you like to do, and put them at the highest interest rate you're paying down to the lowest. And the lowest should be your mortgage. The highest is probably a credit card, and hopefully you don't have too much in between. But let's start at the highest interest rate credit card or whatever type of debt it is and start paying that off. So again, step number 1, figure out what the highest debt card is or debt instrument is. Step number 2, create a plan to pay that off. So depending on how much it is, obviously it could take months or up to years to pay off, but have a plan and know exactly when that credit card is going to pay it off. So there's lots of different calculators online that you can use to calculate when, you can put the amount, interest rate you're paying, and when that debt's going to be paid off. Create a plan. It's so nice to know, okay, I'm paying this credit card off, push that aside, work on the next thing, push that aside. Now, the big thing obviously when you're working to pay off debt is don't take more debt on. So that may mean that you have to really draw back on your spending. Again, we talked about budget a couple weeks ago. Make sure you have a solid budget and follow through with that budget and free up some cash flow to pay off your debt. So if you're sitting in a position where you have lots of debt, you need to figure out a plan to pay that off in a timely fashion. And it's gonna mean that you have to sacrifice in other areas of your life, and that's okay. I think too often we try to rationalize our purchases, whether it's a big or small purchase. A lot of small purchases really eat away, right? It's like a dripping tap. Eventually it just eats you dry. So make sure that every single purchase that you make, if you're carrying debt right now and you're creating a plan to pay off that debt, any purchase that you make going forward needs to be very thoughtfully processed, needs to be part of your plan, and you need to know the repercussions of, hey, if I buy this, it's costing me so much more because I can't pay down my debt. So if you go out and buy, let's say, something worth $100, that's $100 you can't put towards your 20% credit card. That's costing you $20 every single year in interest payment. So, if that extends it another 2, 3, 4, 5 years, now that $100 is really costing you maybe up to $200. So whatever you bought for $100, it's really costing you $200. So if you start to kind of process things that way, it's going to help you to spend less now, pay off your debt a lot quicker, and not take on more debt in the future. I've said this before in many of the videos we've done, but if you have problems, taking on debt, using credit card, carrying a balance, you need to move to a cash system. So my general rule is if I can't pay cash for something, I'm not buying it. So I may purchase it on a credit card for insurances, protection, all that kind of stuff and points, but I'm paying it off right away. So that's our rule in our household. I recommend that to all of our clients, all of you watching this video. If you can't pay cash, unless it's your home is the one thing to borrow for. Everything else you need to be paying cash for. So if you don't have the cash, that means you can't afford it, which means you shouldn't be buying it. Now, I'll throw in a little caveat there. I know there are emergencies and situations where you do have to borrow. People are in tough situations. I get that. It happens to all of us. But generally speaking, use cash for all your purchases outside of your main principal residence. So just a recap on paying off debts. A lot of time we get overwhelmed with the debts and, we get our credit card slips and there's, maybe we have 3 credit cards with balances and it becomes too much and it's almost like you don't want to deal with it because it's just too much. You can tell in this video, I try and keep it as simple as possible. You need to do 2 things. You need to categorize your debts from highest interest to lowest interest, and then create a plan to start paying it off. So in your budget, you need to have a line item that says debt payments, and you need to start hammering away at that top one. So again, 2 things. Put them in order, and then have a plan to start paying it off. And I guess the third thing, if you want to slip it in there, don't take on more debt. Debt will eat you alive. So make sure you pay it off, don't take on any more, and use a cash system to make all your purchases going forward. So thanks for joining us on week 3 of our personal finance mini-series. Hopefully you enjoyed the video on paying off debt, how to do that, and just keeping it really simple. I think, again, oftentimes we get overwhelmed and we just put it aside and it's just costing us more money and interest down the road. Sit back, understand, and confess to yourself that you have debt, you need to pay it off, create a strategy behind it, and get that debt free. If you have a success story on paying off debt or strategy that you use that worked really well, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from it and use it to help others pay off their debt as well. So thanks again for joining us for the video today. We hope you had a great day. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy the videos, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It really does help get our videos out to more people. More people need to know how to pay off debt because we're in a world where people have multiple credit cards and other types of debt that need to be paid off. So hit the like button. Let's get this video out to more people. And thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.